Kimberly again. Today we're going to do a little bit of a food demo. I'm going to show you how to make a chickpea salad that I make for myself. Today it's not completely raw vegan because we had to use canned garbanzo or chickpeas today. This is a salad that I make frequently for myself. I usually sprout the chickpeas, soak and sprout them so that they have little tails on them. You get the chlorophyll and the enzymes from the chickpeas, and it's a fabulous source of protein. I have the chickpeas here in a pie plate. The first thing I'm going to do is I have already pre-sliced a lemon. We were having some technical difficulties, so you missed one half of the lemon. I want to show you some of the things that I use, some of the tools that I really like to use. This is a citrus reamer made of wood. I got it at Williams-Sonoma. I think it was around about $8 or $9. What I normally do with the lemons is I would roll them on the cutting board to kind of release the juices. Take the reamer and apply firmly to the lemon or lime. In this case, we're using lemon. You're going to go ahead and squeeze using firm pressure. I usually do this vertically so some of the seeds I can kind of catch as they're coming off the lip of the lemon. And then just squeeze it through your hands and get out what remaining seeds are there. And I'm going to set these chickpeas down here. Now, another tool that I love to use is herb scissors. This has 3 blades on either side. It's got a rubber handle. These are really fabulous. I can't really remember where I purchased these. I think I might have got these at TJ Maxx. They're really great, stainless steel. They're a fabulous tool that I use for a lot of my different kinds of herbs. Today in this salad we're going to be using Italian curly parsley, which is really good to help release any kind of bacteria from the system. It's great for the liver and the kidneys to flush out. A lot of times I will go ahead and cut this up and put it into a salad, and I'll reserve the stems. So I like the stems in my salads, but sometimes I'll reserve the stems and make juice with it later. I also, for ladies on a date, it helps with bad breath, which is fabulous, as well as the lemon. I'm going to bring these chickpeas back up here, and I'm just going to take these scissors and just kind of cut off some of this parsley here with the scissors. This really kind of makes it easy, because then you can just do it right over the thing, right over the bowl, and try to kind of get near those tops and kind of get just a little as you go. I'm going to do a couple different things today, just to kind of give you an idea of what I'm doing, what I'm eating, and what I'm serving to a lot of my family and my friends. I'm just going to put a little parsley in here just so you get the gist. Now, parsley, I usually will do parsley, lemon, and apple in a juicer. I like the Breville centrifugal juicer for juicing. For greens, a Green Star or Champion juicer would probably be a little bit better for greens. I found out with the Breville centrifugal juicer is that you sometimes don't get enough of the use of the greens because it spits it out, so sometimes I have to run it through 1 or 2 times. So see, now we have some finely chopped parsley. It only took a second to do. And you know, a lot of these recipes aren't hard to do, and they're not very time consuming, which is really nice. Because being a raw vegan, it's actually easier than you think. A lot of people think it's very time consuming and very expensive, which in part is true on some recipes if you get to the 5-star level. I'm going to use some California sun-dried tomatoes. These are julienne cut. They're already cut in a jar. I like these ones a lot. These are not organic. I'm still looking for an organic source of sun-dried tomatoes. I have an Excalibur dehydrator, and at my house I have some my first batch of tomatoes going to kind of see about what it would taste like versus ones that you get in a jar. Now, this has a little bit of olive oil on it, which is really nice. We're going to just take a few of these sun-dried tomatoes, about a half a jar or so. And it's okay if you get a little bit of the olive oil from that in here. A lot of nice flavor components. For the dressing, we're going to use some hemp seed oil. And I really like hemp seed. Hemp seed oil, this one here I have is by Mantoma Harvest. It's a certified organic oil. It's great because it has all your omega-3s, And I believe it has 6s and 9s in it as well. It does. It has 6s and 9s in it as well. A tablespoon is 130 calories, so it's not a lot of calories. Hold that. Bless me, my allergies. Bless me. Now we're going to put a little bit more in here. So this kind of adds a little bit of sweetness to it. And that lemon is really good too because that adds another dimension of flavor to it. I'm going to add just a little bit of Simply Organic garlic powder. I got it at Whole Foods. It's USDA approved organic. I try to use it organic as much as possible, and here's the premise for that. I've read about 100 books by this time, and I'm just putting just a little bit of garlic powder here. It's not coming out very fast. I've read in a lot of books, and it talks about the organic lifestyle, and it talks about your foods and how your foods are digested in your system. And I really found this to be true as I was going through a lot of the fasting, the juice fasting and whatnot. I noticed that I was more content and more full when I had organic produce versus when I had non-organic produce. I thought that was really interesting, and as time grew on, I found that more and more the case. And a lot of books said that when you have pesticide-laden and genetically modified fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds, your body sees it as a foreign invader. So you don't absorb a lot of those nutrients that you really need. So when you start doing all organic, if you start implementing that one thing in your diet, it will be a huge change for you. You'll feel more full and content whether you're juicing or doing your raw food vegan diet. You'll feel a lot more content with what you're eating. I found that to be the case, at least with me. And I'm going to just set this down here. Put that. So far we have the chickpeas, we have parsley, lemon, a little bit of garlic powder. I'm going to add a little bit of organic black pepper to that. And here. So we've seen the reamer and we've seen the scissors so far. And we've also seen the Yoshi knife, which you can get. It's really inexpensive. I'll take this red onion. And we don't need very much onion. I mean, you can pretty much do onion's a powerful flavor component. And you can add as little or as much as you want. The lemon will cancel out a little bit, and the parsley will cancel out a little bit of the bad breath for those of you on the stage. I'm just going to cut it up. I'm just going to use like half of an onion. I usually have a different chef's knife for this particular task. Now, if you have any questions, I'm learning a lot of things, and I'm going to be doing a video about some of the books that I'm reading. I'm devouring books, and I'm learning a lot of new things. So if you have questions about your diet and about some of the things that you're doing that you've been longing for the answer, just email me or put it in the comments below, and I'll research it out for you because I'm just as curious about my health and well-being as you are. Weight loss is not easy, folks. Not for the sissies. For strong people who are dedicated to figure this out. And I got some onions. I'm just going to put a few on there. Now, if you haven't used hemp seed oil is really fabulous. It has a light, nutty flavor. It's not overpowering at all. It's very, very light. And it's a great, like a source of the omega fatty acids, like I was telling you. Now I just drizzle this on top, just a little bit. Kind of gives that nutty flavor and kind of makes a little bit of a dressing as you work through. Now I want to talk about Celtic sea salt. Celtic sea salt is really cool. I found this through a bunch of videos that people were doing on salt, and I want to actually show you. I'm going to come around and get a little closer to the camera. It's kind of gray. I don't know if you can see that. I can hardly see. It's kind of gray in the color. And this sea salt is actually harvested. It's a really interesting thing. They harvest it off the coast of northeast France, or northwestern France rather. It's channeled through a series of clay-lined ponds, and then it's evaporated. The water, salt water, is gone through all these channels, and then it's the wind and the evaporation and everything kind of dries it all up, and what you're left with is very mineral rich salt. It has a different flavor component than regular standard ionized salt. It's a little more, it's mineral rich, so it kind of brings out the flavor of the greens, flavor of citrus. It's really fabulous. You don't need as much as standard salt, you'll find, and it tastes pretty much the same as far as, like, it's a salty thing, but it brightens up the food, and you need less. It melts into the food a little better. I'm going to use just a tiny bit. I mean, this is a two-taste thing. I'm going to use, like, literally a pinch, but you can use as much as you want. Now, I'm reading a really cool book right now. And another interesting thing. I'll show you the book real quick. I have it here so that I can kind of read the cliff notes. I'm about 95% of the way through. This book is called Salt Your Way to Health. It's by David Brownstein, and he's a doctor. I found this in McKay's bookstore, and it was a really interesting study about salt. It's very controversial. A lot of doctors say that you don't need it. Some doctors say that you do need it. But it's really fascinating. What I didn't know is that salt was actually used for currency. Back as far as the Egyptian times and before Christ was born, it was used as currency. It was used as a preservative rather, which most of us know it as a preservative. But you want to definitely research Celtic sea salt on your own, because it's absolutely fabulous. It's a great thing to add to your diet. It does not, for people with heart problems and stuff, you can actually add this salt to your diet, as where ionized salt will raise your blood pressure. It does not do the same. It does not have the same effect with your blood pressure. So I'm just going to incorporate this, mix this through. I'll give it a little bit of a taste here, see if it needs a little tweaking. Oh, that is so good. Now, you can do this several hours ahead of time, or even a day ahead of time. Now, I would probably chop up the onions just a little bit more fine than what I did, just because some people just don't want that onion bite in their food. Absolutely fabulous. You have the sweetness of the sun-dried tomatoes, and I think I'll add a little bit more sun-dried tomatoes. Sweetness of the sun-dried tomato, and you have the acidity from the lemon, and the light salt effect of the Celtic sea salt. Oh, now, I tell you, the thing that I did learn with this style with raw vegan eating is look at how fabulous this looks. Look at the color, the vibrance of the sun-dried tomatoes, and the color of the chickpeas, the parsley, and the salt and the pepper. I mean, it's just fantastic. The colors, the onions. I try to make the food look very palatable too. And if you ever walk into the grocery store, especially like Whole Foods or Fresh Market or whatnot, and the colors are so vivid. It's just like an explosion of color. It's really fantastic. And you know what? It tastes just as good when you take the time and you learn about food and you really apply that to your life. It tastes so incredible. And it's such a gift. Cooking and preparing food is a gift to your family. And speaking of family, I hear my baby crying. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm just going to pause it. Oh, goodness.